I'm Jessica Mikowski, mindset coach, co-founder of Yogi Triathlete, and host of the Awake Athlete podcast. Welcome to Season 6, The Road to El Cruce. This season is a living documentary, my journey to a 3-day 100K stage race through the wild terrain of Patagonia. It's not just about endurance training, it's about exploring the mental, emotional, and spiritual edges that shape us. There's no set schedule. Episodes will drop as the layers peel back. My hope is that in hearing my story, you remember your own strength and your own path home. This is me showing up in real time, and I am all in. I'm so glad you're with me. Welcome back, you guys. This is episode 6 of the Awake Athlete podcast, The Road to El Cruce. So, I've never been accused of being a mathematician, but according to my calculations, I'm about halfway to the race, about 3.5 months in to a 7-month training block, which the only reason I have been able to jump into this 7 months is because of all the consistency of training, whether light or heavy. It's been consistent. The recipe for success, always a little bit every day over a long period of time. You know, we don't change through breakthroughs. We just don't. We have clicked in moments where we're like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense to me now. Or holy crap, I just understood the meaning of that, right? It's like the thing that you've heard 100 times. And on the 101st time, it's like you up level. And those clicked in moments are super helpful because they secure our trajectory forward. However, how we change is small, incremental shifts every day, a little bit over a long period of time. So yeah, about halfway. And that word halfway has been sitting with me because the halfway point is such an interesting place. It's not the thrill of beginning. It's not the relief of the end. It's the middle, and it can feel like a grind. I recall 2008, I was training for my first Ironman Coeur d'Alene. And I had a blog at the time called Just an Average Skirt. And I think I have these blog posts archived somewhere. But I remember a particular one that I wrote called The House of Craze. And it was because, oh man, I was such a rookie. I was so in it. But I've never forgotten this clarity. You're in the middle of this training tunnel. You cannot see where you began, and you cannot see where it ends. You are just in it. It requires grit, yes, but it requires patience. And patience was something that I never revered as a strength. I thought it was a weakness. And I thought what was a strength was my impatience, which was really like an intolerance. It was, it's kind of gross, but I had it for a really long time. So if you know me, if you really know me, you know I have a pretty fiery personality and constitution. And most of my day, I'm really like regulating myself. Because I am the kind of person that just wants to get on top of the mountain and start screaming like, this is the way, wake up. But I've also realized the beauty in that is that doesn't work. People don't want your force. They're not interested in it. And how do I know that? Well, number one, because anytime I've done that, it doesn't work. But also, I don't like being forced. I don't like being told what to do. Like, how acute is that for me? It is so acute that when I get into the car, and I don't put my seatbelt on, I get this like bell tone that keeps ringing until I put it on. And like, it just brings up this rebellion in me that like, I do not like being told what to do at all. And so that's a characteristic of a leader, and which I'm very honored to play that role in life. It's not super easy because I'm not always great at it, and I'm human, and my mind falls and I slip sometimes, but it's the only way I can be. But I can't always be rebellious, and I can't always be forcing things. And so the midway point is like such a guru, because it just is like, get up and do it again. I also love adrenaline. I love adventure. And the monotony of training day after day is something that kind of makes me want to jump out of my skin. But I have to remember that why I'm doing this, what this monotony, it's so purposeful, like what it's for, is so that I can go to Patagonia and I can spread my wings and I can be wild in the wild. And I can't just be wild. I need to have the training. I need to have the consistency. I need to have the patience, because that makes my wild so much more authentic, because it brings in all parts of me. And that's where I am right now. I'm in the middle, and the middle can be deceptive, right? At the start, we're lit up with excitement. At the finish, we're fueled by the vision of crossing the line. But halfway, it can feel endless. The novelty is worn out. The finish is too far to taste. And doubt starts whispering like, will this even work? And yeah, I've kind of been thinking that now, as like I'm realizing I've got this notepad in my computer, like loose ends. I have to book my transfer from one airport to the other so that I can fly domestic. I need to get somewhere to stay before and after the race. Like there's these little logistics that I need to get tied up. And every day that those don't happen, when I think about them, then I get like that scarcity mindset, like I have to do this. I haven't done it yet. I see it's like this part of me that's restless. And if one thing that endurance sports has taught me, it's this like keeping the lion in the cage and this restlessness. It's okay. It's my fire burning. The embers are still there and they are hot. But to act from that scarcity mindset or not address, the constriction that I feel when I think about things that haven't been done yet, that doesn't help my journey forward. That doesn't help me feel patient midway through. So what do, right? Like the breath. One of a great breath, which I'm not sure if I've talked about it so far, is this 10-second breath. Inhale for 2, hold for 2, and exhale for 6. That 6-second exhale is everything to slowing down. It's everything to patience. And when I put 100% of my awareness on my breath, I'm 100% present. And to circle back to this impatience, and now I have patience where I can kind of hang in that gap. I can linger at the bottom of an exhale. It's because I've deepened my relationship with presence. Because patience not only was not something I was interested in having, it was something that like I didn't know even how to have. And what I realized was, as I deepened that relationship with presence, as I paid attention to what I was doing while I was doing it, I like developed this other skill called patience. So that's where I am right now. I'm in the middle road. I'm in patience. And the halfway point, it's like the body isn't fully adapted. It's already tired, which is a super important part of training. We have to train on a fatigued body. And you're riding that line. You're riding the razor's edge. Now that's where my excitement happens too, because I love to be on the edge. And being on the edge with patience is a much better place for me to be, because without the patience, I'm reckless. But in this halfway point, right? It's like I'm already tired. You can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. The brain is bored with the routine. It totally is. I crave adventure. I crave adrenaline. I love all those things. And the midway point is my work. The midway point is the best thing for me, right? The heart wants proof that the work is worth it. But the proof, it comes in fits and starts. Sometimes I feel super tired and ridiculously strong. Sometimes I feel super tired and just like super tired. But that also is something that I love about this training, is that, I get to surprise myself. I get to inspire myself. When we consider inspiration, we're always thinking about other people outside of us, like, oh, that she inspires me, or he inspires me, or that story inspired me. And it's like, inspire yourself. Feel that inspiration. that people are seeing in you. Because if you're training for something, I don't care what it is, if it's a 3-day stage race or a 5K. And I think I said this in the last episode, it's not just an anything. It is something that you are endeavoring, something that you are putting time and faith and commitment to. And that is inspiring. So there was this time where, for a long time, people would say, your energy is contagious, or you're inspiring me. And, I love being around your energy. Now, let's just be real. Not everybody loves being around my energy. That's okay. Also my work, that I can't please everyone. But, at one point I remember after a yoga class that I taught, someone said, I just love the energy of your class. I love your energy. I love what you said. And I just say, yeah, I live in that energy. I agree. It feels so good. But if you're seeing that in me, if you're feeling that in me, it's because it's already in you. And if there's anything that I feel because of another person or something outside of me, it's because it's already within me. Now that goes the opposite way too, right? Anger, frustration, jealousy, intolerance, right? We're always learning about our inner house by how we're responding, the way we feel to things outside of us. And so I say, if somebody says you're an inspiration, number one, this is one of the best lessons my dad ever taught me. He said, when someone gives you a compliment, just say thank you. Just receive it. They deserve you to receive it. And our tendency a lot of times is to downplay it. Our tendency is to immediately give a compliment back. And I loved that teaching. And so be your own inspiration. If you are in the halfway point of anything, your life, a training block for a race, your kids, like that point between when they're really cute and they just need you to the point where they're pushing you away, right? To the point that they leave you, whatever that middle ground is. Be in that middle ground and show yourself how inspiring you are and feel that, because you are. You are breathtaking. You are amazing. And you are loved without condition simply because you exist. Okay, let's get back on track here. So, how do we stay awake in the middle? We got to break the middle into smaller steps, right? Don't just think about the 100K or the 5K or the marathon or the Ironman. It's like, what are we going to do during that race when things get tough, when things get monotonous, right? When the brain's like, oh my God, I just want to be done. You just get to the next aid station. Always get to the next aid station or the next post on the street when you're doing your training run, or the next amazing lunch that you get to feed your body because you've just done another great workout. So don't think about everything that's before you. It's just today's block. And something I've really been working with as I've had a pause in my adventures, like I came home from the Galapagos Islands at the beginning of May, and I don't really have another adventure, like huge adventure, until the end of the year, which of course would be this race. I have a women's retreat in Sedona, Arizona in November, which will be incredible little adventure there with some women. And then really my big travel besides El Cruce is next year, Costa Rica, Iceland, the Galapagos Islands again. And so it's like just being right where I am. And a great question to ask is like, can this be enough? Can this be enough? That's a great question. The other one is, every day is an adventure. Right? We think we know how it's going to go, but we don't. And so how can we wake up with a sense of awe and wonder? And that's something that's really, really helped me as I'm grounded here, which I love, right? I love my life. I love the business my husband and I have created. It's insane. People are taking the inspiration they're putting into action and they are changing their lives. It's crazy. And the biggest acceptance is that the majority of people don't want to change, and that's okay. We're not for them. I'm not for them. I'm for the ones who are ready to step into it, to embrace where their work is, which for me is the middle point. So presence is another way. Presence as power, dropping into the moment, right foot, left foot, one breath, one rep. The finish line doesn't exist yet, but there's many, many finish lines within a day and many small wins and many adventures and wonders to observe as you move throughout your day. And we also want to reframe progress, right? Like halfway is proof. You're halfway there. That's not nothing. That's evidence. What you see now is your evidence of growth, right? Maybe stronger hiking legs, mental steadiness, training durability. And then micro celebrations, like I said, many small wins throughout the day. Pause and honor this point. Halfway is a massive achievement. It means you've stayed in the game. So many people quit way too soon on their sport, on their love, on their life, on their intelligence, on their abundance. They quit way too soon. So halfway is an achievement. It is not nothing. And we want to make the middle meaningful. The middle is where transformation not only happens, but is happening, right? Like the finish line is just the stamp of all the invisible work you did here. This is the forge. This is where resilience is built. And when the nervous system learns durability and real growth is happening in this middle point. Absolutely. The nervous system learns durability. That is such a big statement because you're training on a fatigued body. You're training with a fatigued mind. And that teaches the nervous system to say, we're tired, we're worked, and we're safe. And to have sovereignty over your nervous system is not only everyone's right, but it is such a key to longevity and wellness in this life. We are living longer than we've ever lived before, and we're living in the most poor health. Longevity with wellness is the key. That's holistic performance. That's awake athlete. That's yogi triathlete. And halfway, right? It's not purgatory. It's the power zone. It's where consistency becomes strength and transformation unfolds in real time. Halfway is not the waiting, it's the work. So if you're in the middle of something in your life, don't slip into autopilot. Don't. That's the efficiency of our hard wiring, but you have to override that to be awake in this life. So stay awake, stay present, use your breath. That's a fast track to nervous system sovereignty because the middle is where so much is happening. So much is unfolding. And I'll leave you with this. There's some science around the dopamine hits that we get. And we think, we sign up for these things, or I don't know, let's say we're engaged and we're getting married. And it's like, we just want to get to that finish line. We just want to get to the altar. We just want to get to the other side of the treatment. Like we have this idea that we're going to get to the finish line and then everything's going to be better, right? Once I get to the vacation, once I get the raise, once Friday comes. But here's the scientific truth. The dopamine hits are in the journey. The dopamine hits are not at the finish line. Actually, that's in fact where most people fall, like mentally and physically. They'll fall and they'll get those post-race blues. I think I touched upon that in my last episode. But the dopamine is in the journey. The dopamine is in the process. So be in the process. Be in the middle. Remove the meaning that that's purgatory. It's not. It's not nothing. It matters. And it is the place that is allowing you to get to that finish line, whatever your finish line is. All right. So I hope that was helpful. That was kind of fun. That was a little bit of a rant. I wasn't expecting to do this because my husband is teaching yoga and he's about to walk in the door. And I thought, do I have time? What am I going to say? And here we are. So I hope it was helpful. I hope it was for you. You took away at least one nugget of gold. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you for listening. And whatever is resonating with you, take it and put it into action. Inspire yourself. Inspire yourself. You are inspiration. You are inspirational. This show is brought to you by Yogi Triathlete because you were born for more than just pushing through. We've been leading the way in holistic performance since the beginning. Body, mind, and spirit. So thanks for tuning in. Stay awake, stay the course, and I'll meet you back here soon.